Transitime, an open data and open source transit information system. Our cities are faced with congestion, with pollution, and with climate change. Transit is a solution for these issues, but running more buses costs more money. Better transit info and apps is a cost-effective solution. And we need transit to compete with driving and with ride-hailing, which already have great apps. So this brings us to Transitime. Transitime is a real-time transit information system. It tells you next bus is in 5 minutes. It also can use any GPS or even no GPS. It still works. It's accurate by using historic data, and it's for any size agency, shuttles to huge cities, and is currently in production for Boston MBTA. It's a fully open system. It's open source, which means that all of the source code is available on GitHub for you to use and to see. It's not tied to a proprietary vendor. Instead, there's many collaborators and is modifiable and expandable. It's also open data. This means that there's an API in GTFS real-time JSON and XML. And the database is open, which means that the agency, not the vendor, controls the data. It can power smartphone apps through the API, and can power management tools because it generates schedule adherence, travel times, and historic AVL data. We combine Transitime with VTA open data. There's actually 3 sources. The first is VTA GTFS information. This desktop map shows a selection of Route 10, and up comes the map. This is all based on GTFS data, and when you click on a stop, you can see the scheduled information when the vehicle's to arrive. So next we combine the Transloc GPS feed, and we get data every 5 seconds. There's no assignment data, but Transitime automatically assigns vehicles. So now you can see streetcars moving around in real time. Select another route, and you see the other streetcars for Route 902. You can zoom pan, and when the user clicks on a stop, they can actually see the arrival time based on real-time information. So here it's showing that the streetcar is about to arrive. Next, we combine the Amigo Cloud GPS feed in with the system. We get GPS data every second. So the user selects a route, like Route 22, and you can see all of the buses moving in real time. Zoom in, and it's really compelling because you can actually see the buses move in real time. And click on a stop, and you see the predictions based on the GPS information. So this is great, but we wanted to do even more. So we combined iBeacons with GPS and crowdsourcing. The idea is that when a smartphone detects that it's on the bus that has an iBeacon, it can automatically transmit the GPS information back to the Transitime system. And then the Transitime system makes the real-time information available to other passengers through the API. So now all routes can have real-time info through crowdsourcing and iBeacons. So here's an example of the app in action. So from the front page, you can see the predictions by route, and it lists all of the routes, how close they are to the user. When the user selects one of the routes, they can get a map showing even things like walking instructions and the departure times for the buses. The smartphone app uses Cordova or PhoneGap, and it runs on iPhones and Androids. The users are motivated to download this app because this way they get better passenger information. And the app automatically detects boardings and unboardings, so the user does not need to do anything manually. It automatically works in the background. Here's a demonstration of the app in action. So a user is waiting for the bus, and they can check their smartphone, and at the very minimum, they would get schedule-based information. Now, we actually purchased some iBeacons, and shown here. And so when the user gets on the bus where there's a beacon, the smartphone automatically determines that it should transmit information. And then the system, the Transitime system, starts generating the real-time information. So the great thing is that the next passenger, when they look at the smartphone app, they will be getting real-time crowdsourced information. And so here's an example. When the passenger gets on the bus automatically appears on the system and then moves in real time. So now we have real-time information that is crowdsourced. The next steps are to install iBeacons on buses, publicize the app, and create a production Transitime system for VTA. So in summary, Transitime is better quality real-time information, and it is open source and open data, and it uses VTA open data. With iBeacons, we can even crowdsource the GPS. So we have a complete solution. For more information, see transitime.org/vta.html. And this way, we can make our passengers happy.